a Bitcoin address has a public and a private key pair. And in the early days, the machine would like print out both, or wallet software would print out both. And you had to be very careful because the private key pair, I mean, it was a QR code along with the hash, or the sort of, I guess, just the private keys. It was in QR code format a lot of the time, and so you could, from a distance, you could theoretically steal someone's money, someone's coins. And it happened. Certainly, you had to protect your paper wallet, and very sensitive and obviously subject to degradation or if you were in a flood situation or a fire situation. And so all these conversations about security really started around that time as well. It wasn't so much about passwords and hacking, but also just about how to actually secure the value that you are the custodian of. Yeah, I was in Chicago and I met up with this guy. He must have had a few thousand Bitcoin easily. I don't really know how many he had, but I was probably buying, geez, I don't even remember now. I mean, there was an envelope of cash. It was several $1,000s in cash, and I was probably buying, I don't know, probably 4 Bitcoin, something like that. Ethereum had been trading. It had sort of established a price. It had made some moves through the double digits into the low triple digits. I think Ethereum was around $100. And the plan was to buy these Bitcoin to then buy Ethereum. You could meet up with people and do these deals, and that was a very seamless way to participate in the early days. The on-ramps and off-ramps were sort of pretty limited, and so without platforms like local Bitcoins and without that sort of groundswell of being able to trade with people in person, yeah, so just meeting up with people and buying the Bitcoins from them in cash, and they might have mined them. They may have bought them for $1 or $5, and they're now selling them for $100 or $500 or $1,000. And he nearly broke down in tears at the Dunkin' Donuts because he just it started hitting him. He hadn't really sold very much Bitcoin, and he was selling it to us at $1,000. And he was nearly in tears because it was his dream of becoming rich was coming true in front of his eyes. He had stacks and stacks and stacks of Bitcoin. He was probably just doing simple math. He might have had 2,000 Bitcoin, and we're buying it from him at $1,000 a pop. So he's just doing simple math, and he's saying, I've got 2 million, and his life is changing, and he's weeping in front of us practically. He's like laughing, crying. And, if he held even 100 of those Bitcoins, he's got a nice little chunk of change. But not everybody held their early stuff, so.